Marketing, entrepreneurship, and all things small business. You're listening to the Profit 911 podcast. Now, here's your host, Justin Miller.
Hello, and welcome to the inaugural edition of the Profit 911 podcast. I am your host, Justin Miller, along with my co-host, Kevin Walker. How are you,
Co-host, I'm good.
You are a co-host. Kevin's going to be our co-host slash producer slash a lot of things behind the scenes you'll never see.
The fun work behind the scenes.
All right, so first off, we should probably address, since the only people that are going to be watching this first podcast are either, well, my parents or people that went back in the future and
looked at it,
went to episode 1. So,
yeah.
So I should probably address, like, why on earth we're doing a podcast.
Because everyone in the world now has a podcast.
Yeah, it's the thing. I try not to do the thing that everyone does, but you've been bugging me about doing a podcast for a while, or about other people doing podcasts, and I'm a marketer, so I'm like, hey, we'll try. But I think kind of the need we're going to fulfill here for you, the listener, is the true entrepreneur, small business, really one-man show. And when I say one-man show, I don't mean necessarily you literally are the only person, but you're the only brain of your operation, if you will.
You're the guy calling the shots.
Yeah, so it's supposed to support you, give you some marketing ideas, but we're going to talk about all things small business, and we're going to hopefully entertain. You know, if this is not fun, email me hate mail, and we'll stop doing it, you know? But really, the point of this is to have some fun, share some ideas, give you a couple nuggets each episode. How long are the shows, Kevin? We talked about that.
About 20 minutes. We're going to try to keep it to right around 20 minutes. So it's easy to listen to, easy to remember, and you won't want to flip us off at. You'll be like, no, I'm done.
Yeah,
20 minutes is right.
But you know what? If it ends up being 10 and we don't have anything, it's going to be 10. So we're not going to waste your time.
All right.
If it goes 30, you'll yell at me. So, all right. So future topics. So we have some of these mapped out. We're ready to go. But if you have something you want to hear about, and you'll hear this probably at the end of like every show, if you have something you want to hear about, just email me personally, justin@profit911.biz. In the future, we'll have some guests. So if you want to be a guest expert, by all means, email me or message me. We'll talk about where to do that in a minute. So episode number 1 here is all about social media, which is really kind of funny because social media marketing's not my thing.
No, you're really not that big on it. It's not your favorite.
No. But this week in particular has been a little rough for me.
Yeah, when I talked to you earlier, you were really angry, and I thought you were joking when you're like, no, I can't get into my business Facebook page.
Yeah, so right now we are on day 6 of Justin Miller not having any access to anything Facebook. And people are starting to message me a little bit. And by message, I mean they like email me or text message me. And they're like, hey, did you shut down your Facebook account? Like, no. Facebook went ahead and took care of that for me.
I mean, literally one day you log in and try to do something and it's not there?
Yeah, so I got some brief alert that like there was some suspicious activity, some algorithm somewhere thought something fishy was up. So they've locked me out, and now when I try and log in, I have a screen that says, please upload your ID for confirmation.
Like a photo ID, like your license?
Yeah, like a government ID. So the first thing that jumps at me is, this has got to be like a virus and a scam, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a tech person. This is very strange. I've never heard of such a thing. There's no way in hell I'm uploading my ID here. So I get on the Google and I search all over it. No, it's legit. It happens occasionally. And it's meant to verify identity when something is weird. So they want to make sure that apparently I am Justin Miller. The problem, though, is that's all fine and dandy. That's minorly annoying, but could deal with it. The problem is I've uploaded the ID like 300 times. From every phone I can get my hands on, every computer, different browsers, and all I get is upload your ID again.
It won't even take it. I mean, it's just not even there.
No, as far as I'm concerned, it's been a week now, and I'm done. Those of you that haven't dealt with Facebook before, so the marketers that are listening to this are like, oh yeah, I've heard of ad accounts getting shut down all the time. Like advertisers doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just randomly get shut down. The real problem, though, is have you ever had any issue with Facebook where like you tried to contact them?
You really can't contact them. Yeah, on my personal Facebook page, I no longer, the email that I signed up with like 10 years ago no longer exists, but it's still linked to the account. And so every time I go in and try to change it to just a Gmail, it says it saves it, and the next time I log in and look at my account info, it's back to the original email. And you're right, it's kind of impossible to like get help from Facebook. They don't make it easy. You can't call them.
No, they don't make it easy. They make it impossible. There literally is no phone number, which, by the way, if you find a phone number, that's a scam too. So there's no phone number.
Yeah.
There's no email address. People that have contacts in the Facebook world don't deal with stuff like this. So I'm literally, at this point, I don't think I'm ever going to get logged back in. But
so do you think, though, that at some point when they don't hear from you with your ID, that they might actually email the email on file and say, is this you? Or I'm just trying to be helpful.
No.
I know it won't happen, but I mean, isn't that kind of effectively shuts down your Facebook page for your business?
Oh, yeah. So I have a Profit 911 Consulting by Justin Miller page, and it's still live. So first off, if you try and find my personal profile, it's just down, like I don't exist. It's completely.
Oh, I thought it was just your business page. It's your personal
it's my
one
personal
too.
profile. So like if you go to my wife's page, it says she's married, but it's not connected to me anymore, and all my photos and videos are down. I've lost everything. So I signed up for Facebook back when you had to be in college and have an EDU, like 15 years of stuff down the drain. But my business page is still live.
I noticed that. It's still there, but you don't have any access to update it, right? Or to do anything?
No, and I'm the only admin, so it's kind of in limbo. It's just stuck there. I don't know. Facebook is nice enough to email me about 10 times a day to let me know that someone commented or applied to a job.
Yeah.
And to click here to check the comment, which I can't.
Those are all very helpful.
Yeah, so... Facebook's I don't know, may no longer be part of my life, but there's some good lessons to get.
Well, it doesn't appear that you have a choice in that. It's just, I mean,
I could create another account, but
the real Justin Miller, you could call it.
Well, they'd probably shut that down because it wouldn't match my ID.
True.
So I don't know, but in the meantime, I've been playing on other social media channels, and
did this force you to start spending more time? I know you're not one who really likes to be on social media. Did it force you to start looking at other forms, or is it more like a necessary evil for you?
Oh, that's a lie. I'm on Facebook all the time. I'm just lurking and not posting. But I've really become
Especially
aware
now.
of it. Well, yeah. So I did an experiment and removed it from my phone a while back, and I can't tell you how many times a day I pulled out my phone and tapped the spot.
And went to look for it, yeah.
Like literally tapped the spot in the menu it was in. Like my phone's sorted by categories and stuff.
I would be embarrassed to find out how much time I spend on social media every day. I really would.
I'm just thankful that I didn't have any paid ads running, because I have a feeling they'd still be running right now.
Well, yeah, because you'd have no way to shut them down or access them. It's funny because you hear all the time about people's ad accounts being shut down, but I've not seen what happened to you. I see a lot of, and it's usually people that evidently use the most simple passwords. I have several relatives, aunts, people who evidently use super simple passwords, and they're constantly having people like clone their info and creating accounts, and I'm like, it's just not hard.
I don't think I was legitimately hacked, by the way. The only thing abnormal I did, and it's something I've never done, is I reported a fake profile. So a relative friend requested me from the dead. So I went ahead and reported that as a fake profile. That's the only thing out of the ordinary. So I don't know, maybe I upset some scammer somewhere and they reported me, and God knows what happened now. But yeah, I don't have any paid ads. I do have a job posting. So if you're trying to apply for our Office Ninja position here in the Quad Cities, just go ahead and email me, because I can't see your information. So Facebook, I think, is gone. We have a couple client accounts we're managing. Thankfully, they have another admin on them, but my personal stuff and my Profit 911 page are gone. I guess we'll be starting a podcast.
And that's as we're talking about this, that's probably fairly important. I think about that now. The 3 businesses I own, I'm the only admin on those pages. I'm going to probably make my wife an admin just on the outside chance that would happen to me, because you're right. I'd be locked out of those as well.
Well, yeah, we have like the security contacts for getting back into your own account, but that's not the case here. That didn't help me at all. But I guess I do have some light at the end of the tunnel, a little bit of things I've learned and what's going on other platforms. So I still want to. I don't want to, but I'm addicted, and I have to waste time on social media. So I've been forced to look at the other platforms again.
Knowing you and how you think, I would imagine you are gravitating towards LinkedIn more than Instagram.
Yeah. So LinkedIn first, and I have some key observations that I'll share about that. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come right back with what this has taught me, and honestly, a couple of steps that you guys listening should do right now so this is not a problem for you in the future.
And now, back to the Profit 911 podcast with your host, Justin Miller.
All right, welcome back. I'm still sitting here with Kevin, and we are talking about the dilemma that has taken over my life of being locked out of Facebook and really what I've learned about it. It's been awful. But by the way, if you're just joining us, you're lying because that doesn't happen on episode number 1. So we're going to have fun with this.
You were either here or you weren't.
Yeah, so don't ever blame us for having fun. By the way,
no, exactly.
We were just kind of joking at break. We're shooting a video on an iPad right now, and I'll take some pictures and put them online of what this
high tech this is not
jalopy behind the scenes looks like.
But it's effective. It works. It's done. 6 months from now, if we're doing it this way, we're in trouble. But for now, it looks it'll work. It works fine. Good. Yeah.
All right. So anyhow, before the break, you mentioned that you thought I probably gravitated towards LinkedIn, and you were correct. So that's I had to reinstall it on my phone. It's not one I typically looked at.
Is it because it's more laid out like Facebook, or because it's business related?
I don't know. It's just the first one that came to mind. I figured I had the most friends in common there already.
I suppose that's true.
So I have Instagram and everything on my phone, but I don't really log in at all.
Okay.
So I went over to LinkedIn, which, by the way, that was false too. I have like 10% of the friends I had on Facebook. And I actually miss, seeing what's going on in people's lives. Like, my wife had a cousin that just had a kid, and I missed that.
Yeah.
It's all gone. But anyhow, so I went over to LinkedIn, and a couple of things I noticed right out the gate. You want to guess?
Did you? Well, no, I don't, because I'm not sure, because I don't spend nearly as much time on LinkedIn as I should. I consume it a lot and then don't touch it for a month.
Well, that's a different point altogether. And I have a guest that'll come on a future episode and we'll talk about as a tool. But
okay.
It had the scroll feature, so it was good enough for me. The first thing I noticed is it was missing all the personal stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's all you ever hear is that that Facebook is personal and LinkedIn is for business. But business, there's so much of business that is personal anyway.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. So Facebook, I'm smart enough to look at everything with a grain of salt. I realize it's the highlight reel of people's lives, and yeah. No offense to anyone that does it, but if you're lovey-dovey with your spouse on there, I assume you have the worst marriage in the world.
Bingo. Though my wife and I talk about that all the time. It's like there's no way that we often joke about how we should be posting syrupy selfies and talk about how much we love each other, but I'm like, that's not true. We're fighting today, and tomorrow we'll be fine. It's just those. Yes, if you're telling me how wonderful your life is 24/7, it's not very good, probably.
Yeah. So Facebook, in my opinion, was entertaining, and it was good to keep in touch with what's going on, but it was fake. When I go to LinkedIn, it's a different kind of fake. Like, I think everyone's dressed up trying to impress each other over there.
It's like a job interview, and you're trying to decide if you've got the right shirt on and the tie. It is. I think it's everyone. You're trying to impress other people in a business context, because I don't see hardly any. I have a lot of the people that I'm Facebook friends with are business people anyway, so I think a lot of them, we follow each other on LinkedIn partly because we do business together. I don't think there's I really don't think there's any social friendship kind of stuff on LinkedIn at all, for me at least.
Yeah, well, no, you're right, and it was weird to me. And originally, if you think back to LinkedIn, it really was a glorified resume, and it's where you looked for work and to get hired. But now they've really grown the social element, so it has the feed like Facebook, and people are posting, but they're all posting crap. For lack of a better term,
I get it.
It's even more fake than Facebook.
I don't know. I guess maybe it is. I don't spend as much time there, but
So I'm posting family. I'm breaking every LinkedIn rule imaginable.
Nice.
I'm just using it like it's Facebook, which is probably awful, but I don't care. This is, guess what? If your friends are connected or whatever the heck we call it on LinkedIn.
So if I go to LinkedIn right now, I'm going to see pictures of your kids.
I don't know what I posted, but yeah, that's what I would be inclined to post. What's going on in my life? So I mean, small business owners, life is business.
True. Yep. I agree.
Like, I try really hard to separate the two out when it comes to like time, and we'll talk about that in the future. But the bottom line is, you're one person. It's the same. So the social aspect of LinkedIn is completely different, and I found real connection lacking, which is funny because now that I think about it, they do call it connections on there, right?
Yeah.
And I think there is no real connection on there.
I think it's people that want to have connections or feel like they should have connections. Well, I think the weirdest thing about LinkedIn to me is, like, I just logged into yours and it asked me if I should, what is your number one skill?
Yeah,
so now I'm supposed to endorse you for things that like event planning and entertainment or marketing strategy. To me, that aspect is like, that's like saying, I don't know, hey, can you just go in and sign off on a bunch of stuff about me that may or may not be true? I mean, everyone in the world on LinkedIn is not as good at those things as we are told they are, because otherwise everyone would be the best at everything.
Well, and here's the deal. So I would be more likely to accept a connection request on LinkedIn from someone I casually knew in business than I would a Facebook friend request.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
And
with
I'm pretty lenient on
Facebook,
but in general. Too. So I'm more likely to be connected to people that I don't know or care about.
I agree.
And people are more likely to connect with me that way. So you said you're not on LinkedIn a lot, but do you get all kinds of connection requests followed by immediate pitch?
Yes and no and yes. I get, like, I hadn't been on there in 4 days and I had 11 people that had attempted to connect with me. And I tend to just be like, yes.
Sure. Because
I'm the guy, too, that after I get done accepting everyone else, I spend 5 minutes going, connect, and I can try to connect with anyone who's even remotely in the spot where, I mean, but yes, I find once in a while when I connect with somebody and then they do, but it's never like a soft sell. It's like, let's coming in hot. Yeah, I'm like, let's go. Hey, I want your business. Dude, we really don't know each other. So why are you hitting me so hard about your tax service? Yeah, I already have an accountant.
I think I have 6 of them right now. Like, if I connect with them, and then immediately they send some sort of pitch.
Yep.
Can we have a meeting? Can we meet? Can we get a call? Can we have a consultation? Whatever they're calling their process, their sales process. That's the next communication. Now, the good ones are following up again later, but they don't know me from Adam.
There's one today. I got one at 5:51, which is just a few minutes ago. Are you still with name of business here? Just wanted to reach out and see if you need any lead generation tools. Yeah. No, I know a guy for that.
So I have to think that it must work somehow.
Yeah.
And I know someone that I will deem an expert in that, and I'll bring him in to talk about it, but there's just so much of it.
I guess I don't notice it as much, or maybe I ignore it kind of. It doesn't bother me as much because I just kind of slough it off.
It didn't bother me till now it's my social platform.
Well, yeah, because you don't have Facebook, so you have to be social somewhere else.
Yeah, and I mean, I have Snapchat on my. I don't even know how to use Snapchat.
Do you use Snapchat? I have to admit,
I have no idea how to use the thing.
I kind of know how to use it from when I worked in radio, and it's one of those things where it's the one platform to me that I just find to be skewed way too young. I just like my college daughter uses Snapchat a lot, but even then, she still uses Facebook. So yeah, to me, Snapchat's the one that I mean, I'll use Pinterest before I'll use Snapchat.
Yeah, I mean, I have one friend that sends me snaps, so it's on there. I've started looking at Instagram. So Instagram obviously is huge, and marketers are starting to take advantage of it. I'm not someone to ask about it, though, but I'm starting to look at that, and I find myself wanting to put a text post, which is not how it works.
No, it's not how it works. But it is, yeah, I think Instagram is the thing right now. How long it will be the thing, I don't know. And just when I think I understand how to use it or what to do with it, I realize that I might not, or that I kind of know. But you're right, it's always evolving. It is always changing. And just when you think you've got it figured out, everything gets like, wait a minute, what about that? Huh?
Yeah, and then there's a new platform too, right?
Yeah.
And then they try and monetize it, and all the cool kids leave for something else. And,
I find Instagram for me is I still kind of use Facebook now to keep up with family more so, and maybe like former radio colleagues or people in the industry. I use Instagram now to be entertained. To me, it is kind of a tool that I kill a lot of time with.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of time.
I don't know. I think, the parents and grandparents got on Facebook and the younger generation left for the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of the way I see it. I mean, let's shift gears a little bit, though, before we run out of time here. Let's just talk about social media in general. Like, I mean, I'm looking at your phone. You got it sorted kind of like I do. You got about 7 social apps on there right now. And is social media worthwhile? Is it a business tool? Is it a personal tool? Is it an interruption to life? I mean, this is a business podcast, so I guess let's address it from a business standpoint. A lot of people say, I got to be on there for my business. I got to make connections. And honestly, I'm missing some of my business connections right now. But our conversations with the ones I'm missing are personal.
Okay.
So they're business owners I'm friends with, but they're personal conversations.
Yeah. No, I get that. I think it's all of the things that you just mentioned. It's become so integral to me. I couldn't live without it. But I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. And I don't know if it's business related. I use it for business. Do I use it as much as I should? Probably not. But for me, I think it's still personal, more personal. I would tell you that it's not an interruption. It probably is. Are there lots of other things I could be doing than surfing Instagram? See, I've also gotten to the point now where I listen to podcasts like this over and over. I mean, a lot. I probably kill way too much time listening to podcasts while I'm surfing Instagram. I mean, I'm like doing 2 things at once that are huge time sucks.
Well, speaking of doing 2 things at once, so you have a young child, and I have young children as well. Do you find yourself, just staring at social media while they're doing something else? Because I know I do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. When she's in the shower, she's 5, so she's graduated from taking a bath to being a big girl and taking a shower. But I'm just like waiting, we gotta wash your hair now? Are we ready? We out? I can because I have multiple businesses, and then I also run a couple Instagram social media accounts for other businesses. So I have 2 cell phones, and because you can only have 5 Instagram accounts listed on each app. So I have 2 phones, and I have 9 Instagram accounts that I either manage or that I deal with. And so I will do that. I'll be just killing time, or under the pseudo
I was going to say, are you justifying that as work, though, right?
Oh, of course I am.
So that's always the justification.
Yes.
Right.
I can be watching the nightly news or watching the local news at 6 with my wife, and I can be posting, and I think it's multitasking, but I'm probably just being inefficient, and I would be the first one to admit that I'm addicted to it. I wish this stuff was around when I was in college, because, I mean, or when I worked in radio like when I first met you, I was working in radio doing nights. I would have killed to have something other than just a website, having Snapchat or having Instagram or Facebook. I mean, so I think from a business perspective, it can be very useful, but I don't think very many people use it correctly. And I think it's really easy to just get off the rails, and then it's a time suck.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's here to stay, obviously. We're literally addicted, so it's here to stay. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's a moot point of, if it wasn't here, would life be better? Well,
are you saying that you would prefer it wasn't here? I mean, could you devoid yourself of all social media?
I couldn't at this point, but if we didn't know what we were missing, it'd be wonderful. So the marketer in me has to figure out how to harness the power, because if I see we're addicted to something and it's not going anywhere, right, there's a lot of power there. But at the same point, as relational human beings with lives, we got to figure out how to kind of keep it under control. So it's been about a week now. We'll see how long I go without it. If anyone else wants to try and fast from social media and let me know how it goes, I would be entertained. It feels a little different though when you just can't get on versus.
No, that's true. I suppose that's true. If you're not allowed to or you can't, I mean, that is different, because it's one thing to try to force yourself not to do it, and it's another to not physically be able to do it. So you can't get in. You've tried on a computer, from your phone, from a tablet. I mean, nothing works.
Yeah, so I'm kind of a tech-oriented guy, so I've tried everything, and I'm at the point where I need tech support, which doesn't exist.
Yeah, they don't really have it. So, and I don't wonder if that's by design.
Yeah, I don't know, but social media is staying. We are out of time, so what do we got on tap next week? We got, is Black Friday still a thing? So this will be an interesting one to tune into because it's one area that I've taught on, and it's one that Kevin's actually run some of what I've taught on. So
yeah.
So join us next week. Shoot me an email. Let me know if you like our ramblings or not. If you word something funny enough, even if it's hating us, I'll read it. So send it over and tune in next week. Subscribe, whatever the heck you do in podcast world for Is Black Friday Still a Thing?
Thanks for listening to the Profit 911 podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave your comments. For more information on how Profit 911 Consulting can help grow your service business, visit profit911.biz.